Okay, so let's do a pick two or three from a list question as an example. As I've told you with this question, it's a challenge to do this question. And I really suggest that this question appears last in your list of questions to do. Not last in your list. I'm saying you should do this question last if it appears in a set of your questions to do. So if you have a pick two or three, a matching, and a fill the blank question, I would suggest you do the fill the blank question first, then do the matching question, and then do the pick two or three from a list question. The reason why is when you do a pick two or three from a list question last, and you do the other ones first, you'll have a chance to look at a lot of the passage, and then doing a pick two or three question is going to be much easier to be able to handle. All right. So the way I would do this question if I were doing it is, I would, here we have a pick two or three from a list question, and we also have a headings question, right? And so if I were doing this, I would do my headings question first, and do there's also a fill the blank question. Do the heading and fill the blank question first, and then come back to this question. However, even though I'm going to do this question last out of this set, I'm still going to, before I get started, I'm going to look and see what the questions are about. Like for 37 and 38, it says, which two of these advantages of online social networking are mentioned in the reading passage 3? And 39 through 40 says, which two of these disadvantages of online social networking are mentioned in reading passage 3? So what I mean is this. While you were doing the headings question and the fill the blank question, you will look out for any advantages you see about online social networking and circle them in your reading passage, even as you're doing the other question. And also look out for any language that talks about a disadvantage. All right, so you want to look out for language that may be considered as an advantage, and look out for language that may be considered as a disadvantage. And I would suggest you circle that language. Circle that language as you're going through and doing the other questions, and then you can come back and read that language. It's going to be much easier then to do this question. Much, much easier to do this type of question. All right. So, what I would like for this question here, I've already done the other questions in a previous example, but the correct answers for number 37 and 38 were number B and also number E. Letter B and letter E. The reason why it was letter B as an advantage is right here in this first paragraph, it talks about the result. It's now significantly easier for the school friend you haven't seen in years to pass you a tip that alters your behavior from recommendation. So this is talking about the ability to meet your future wife or husband. So it's talking about being easier to be able to be in contact with each other. All right. It also tells us that today our number of weak tie contacts has exploded via online social networking. You can maintain all those weak ties on your own, right? So you can maintain all your ties on your own. That's the reason why whatever our answer is efficient way of keeping in touch with a lot of people. You can maintain all your ties on your own. And then also choice E is an answer also, because it says here in this paragraph, so what paragraph is this? Paragraph E. Everyone, paragraph E. It talks about asking your close friends for help or advice is nothing new, but we are seeing a lowering of barriers among acquaintances. People are sharing their personal feelings and experiences in a wider circle than they may have once done before. The ability to broadcast to our social group means we never feel alone. So we take all that information as an advantage, and that's what means it can be reassuring to be part of a online social network. Okay? As I was going through the passage, I saw nothing that said it could be very easy to establish new friends online. The thing is that makes this hard for you is that for 37 and 38, A, B, C, D, and E are all advantages. They're all advantages. But the key thing is what advantages are mentioned in the reading passage. That's what makes it really tricky. That's what makes it really difficult, is all of those are advantages. So you can't just guess. You can't just look at it and guess it. Okay? You have to look and see which of these five, which are all advantages, are mentioned in the passage. Which of these two of the five are mentioned in the passage. Okay? So that's what makes it really a challenge when it comes to a pick two or three from a list question. Really a challenge. But like I said, I'll explain to you the proper strategy for doing this question. And like I told you, do the other questions first in terms of within the set. However, make sure you look at what each of the pick two or three questions is about. Like 37, 38 is about advantages. 39, 40 is about disadvantages. And then you want to keep in mind for that kind of language as you're going through and doing the other types of questions. That's the best advice I can offer you for doing that pick two or three from a list question. It's one of the most difficult, challenging questions to be able to do, but that's the best way that I recommend you to be able to do it. In terms of 39 and 40, in terms of disadvantaged language, it says we may have to give up some ability to show very limited glimpses of ourselves to others. We have to learn how to live a more transparent life. All right, so it's talking about giving up your privacy here. It's talking about giving up your privacy. All right, and so here also talks about what people hear in the social networks could well be inaccurate. All right, so those are two negative things that I had seen when I was going through it right here. You see where the hand is. What they hear can be inaccurate, but the change is happening nonetheless. That's negative. And down here in paragraph F, where it talked about people paragraph F, where people are talking about learning how to live a more transparent life and giving up the ability to show very limited glimpses of ourselves. And so that's why for number 39 and number 40, the correct answer choices were letters A and E. Letter A and letter E are the correct answer choices. Okay, so that's an example of how we do that really challenging pick two or three from a list question. It's a real challenge. All right, so I'll look forward to talking to you again really, really soon. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.